believe our mom is still out there. We need your help. Law enforcement is working tirelessly around the clock trying to bring her home, trying to find her. She was taken and we don't know where. And we need your help.
A new video message today from Savannah Guthrie, daughter of missing Nancy Guthrie. She's pleading for help. We're on day 9 in the search, and the deadline has come and gone for Nancy Guthrie.
Yeah, 5 o'clock is that deadline for another alleged ransom note. Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez is live tonight in Tucson for us with more. Ashley.
Yeah, so we are actively looking for any correspondence or communication from Pima County or the FBI. We're checking Savannah's social media pages. I mean, it's only 5:01, but we are hoping that we do get a break in this case. That was the only hope that we've had. It's been 9 days now, and we have reported on ransom notes, alleged ransom notes coming in, but we weren't sure if they were legitimate, with this one talking about $6 million in Bitcoin wanted and far consequential, far more consequential realities if the deadline is not met. We were at least hoping that something would break because of these notes, but as of right now, the only update that we've gotten from authorities is that this is still an active investigation and they're still looking for tips from the public. So let me just lay out what we know about Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. So we do know that this latest ransom note did say that there was going to be consequences if a 5 p.m. deadline was not met. But keep in mind that first deadline from these kidnappers, whoever they may be, was last Thursday. It came, it passed, nothing changed. We have no confirmation from authorities whether this ransom note is legitimate. They have not given us any indication they know who is sending these notes. They also gave us mixed signals on the ground here over the weekend as they were continuing to investigate not only Nancy's daughter's home, but going back into her home to investigate. As I mentioned, the Guthrie family said they will pay them $6 million in Bitcoin, but with the information that we have now from authorities, it appears that the kidnappers have not even opened up a line of communication with the family for them to contact the kidnappers. So then if you look at what happened over the weekend, we saw investigators search the home of Annie, Nancy's other daughter. We don't understand why. We did see them take out evidence bags. That requires a search warrant, which requires you to at least show some kind of evidence as to why you would need to search a home. Then we saw them go back to Nancy's backyard, remove a manhole cover, and use a long pole to search what appeared to be a septic tank. We've reached out to lots of law enforcement experts trying to get a handle on what we're seeing. The one I spoke to said that if they're searching what appears to be a septic tank, it appears that they would be searching for a body. That's according to this law enforcement expert. He said if they are in fact searching for Nancy's body, that means that they don't have any confidence in these ransom notes. And this is still a very open and active investigation. And by all accounts, from what we're getting from authorities tonight, they do not have a clear idea of where Nancy is, and we also have no confirmation that they even have proof of life for this 84-year-old woman who's now been missing for 9 days. Again, it's 5:03. Something could come through, and of course, we're going to keep you updated. But for now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Ashley, we just got in a new statement from the Pima County Sheriff. They're saying that they're following up on some new leads and that we can expect to see some more activity at the home of Nancy Guthrie, actually maybe possibly at Annie's house as well. Are you seeing any activity at all behind you right now?
I'm not seeing any activity. We have one police cruiser in front of the home right now. Mainly, it's just been quiet, and it's a lot of media waiting for authorities to show up and tell us something, anything. In talking with law enforcement experts, they say most of the time when you're talking about kidnapping cases, if that's what this is, public tips are key. Public tips usually lead to finding a suspect or, finding some kind of trail of clues. So the fact that they have new leads, that brings us hope. But unfortunately, we've been out here all day, and I have no new information to tell you. So when people say that they're just sending their hopes and prayers to the Guthrie family, we all are. Just to hear the sadness in Savannah's voice and to put yourself in their position, I cannot imagine what they are going through. But we were hoping, going into the second week, we would have something Not yet.
Yeah, Ashley,
we'll let
over
you
the
know when we
weekend,
get it.
we're hearing more and more investigators, former FBI, saying that they're starting to doubt whether the ransom demand is actually connected with her disappearance, that we could be looking at two separate events. Something happened at the house. Nancy Guthrie may have been killed. We don't know. And then you have another agent, somebody else, jumping in with the ransom business. Is it possible, I guess it is, that these two things may not be linked?
It is. And KOL TV in Tucson, which received a ransom note, that news director went on the record saying, you know, we're not going to give the contents of the note because they received it directly through their anonymous tip line. And they're working with investigators. And they said the first note came through a different IP address, and then the second note had another IP address, but it's all still very anonymous. And speaking with law enforcement experts, they say most kidnapping cases are because of ideology, money, or revenge, and without an open line of communication, the money is getting more and more unconvincing that they would want this money. You would think that they wouldn't wait 9 days to open up a line of communication to get millions of dollars. If it was ideology, they haven't left a trace. They haven't left any messaging about politics or anything. And when you talk to law enforcement experts, they tend to think that this is somebody who's familiar with Nancy, somebody who knows this area, somebody who knows the home, because of the fact that it's not on a street corner, nothing was stolen, her cell phone left behind. It doesn't make any sense. But again, we're going to be watching the next hour all into the evening if something breaks with this alleged ransom note. But again, if they are searching properties, gathering more evidence, asking the public for tips, it just appears that they are not confident that this is a legitimate ransom note.
Interesting.
I'll send it back to you.
Yeah.